Welcome along, everybody, to practice 2 for the 2025 Formula 1 Austrian Grand Prix. We are live to cover everything from the session. If you're new here, this is how Watchalong works. You got my face here, you got the live timings here, you got the session timer down the bottom left that you can sync it up with, and you got lovely Twitch chats. If you're watching right now on YouTube or TikTok, come join us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ponden. We are live every single session for every single Grand Prix. We're going to be live all weekend for every single session. Yeah, we had an interesting FP1. We had Russell top the standings. We had Alex Dunn put in an amazing lap for a rookie in that McLaren. But it's all back to normal now for FP2. I saw some people in chat asking, is Alex Dunn filling in? No, so it was just a rookie session, just one session. So maybe we'll get another chance at some point this year, but yeah. Anyways, oh, I forgot to get predictions up in chat for FP2, so let's do that. Alright, channel point predictions are up. Get your channel point predictions in. Who will finish first in practice 2? Again, if you're watching on TikTok or YouTube, come over to the Twitch stream, get your channel point predictions in. But yeah, cannot show the broadcast live as it is obviously copyrighted. So yeah, find a place where you normally watch the session to be able to sync on up with us and having a good time and chatting about everything that happens in the session. Let me get the timer up. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Hey. Alright, timer's up. Sync on up. FinFan, Roger, Mia the P. Thank you guys for the follows. Welcome to the stream. Welcome in, everyone from the TikTok stream. Thank you guys all for the follows. No, Dunn is not filling in. Did I just see Liam in the Red Bull shirt? Yes. They haven't uploaded the new intros, so I can't really, like, get it. But yeah, probably should update it, but it's like recording my screen or something. But yeah, I just came in from TikTok. Well, welcome in, FinFan. Appreciate you tune on into. Can you change the intro? I could, but I have to record the intro and then add it in. Like, they haven't uploaded it to YouTube. You know what I mean? Like they do at the start of the season. So we're just stuck with doing being there and Liam and Yuki being at the wrong teams. But it's not too bad, is it? It's not too bad. I'm sad Dunn isn't driving. Yeah, it's crazy how many fans Dunn has. I guess there's a big Irish audience in the Formula 1 world, considering it's such a European sport. But yeah, Max in the garage right now, not going out straight away. I mean, that's kind of standard in the in FP2 and FP3. Drivers take so long to get out to start the session. There's updated intros on YouTube. On the F1 YouTube channel, though? Oh, what's up with Liam? Oh, issue for Liam. Hopefully that's a quick fix. Want him to get as much time as possible in the car. He obviously knows this track quite well, driving it in F2 and I think F3 as well. Did he ever do an F1 race here? No, I think this would be his first. No, this would be one of the last races he didn't do an F1 because I remember I interviewed him in Austria. It was the most depressing weekend. I remember it was really depressing seeing Liam in the energy station. He just hopped off a 3 AM flight, had to do media work, just sitting there watching other people compete. And yeah, and then it was, what, a week later? A couple of weeks later? Yeah, it would have been a couple of weeks later he then replaced Daniel Ricciardo. Oh no, it would have been a little while, wouldn't it? Singapore. No, but then Netherlands was when he filled in for Daniels. So, yeah, only a couple more races he's not done in F1, and then once we get to the end of the season it will be a bunch of races he has done already, so that will help him a lot, I think. Yeah, we need an Irish circuit. Is there even any like good circuits in Ireland? Was Norris back in? Yeah, Norris is back in. It was just a rookie session. Lexi, name of the bollock. Me when stick drift. So Silver Spa and Hungary, yeah. But the thing is about those, he might not have done them in F1, but he's obviously done them in F2 and F3. Well, not Hungary, but Spa and Silverstone definitely. So I'm just gonna crash in FP2. You reckon? Who have you got? Who have you got crashing? One second. I'm gonna turn my aircon off so it's not noisy in the background. Oh fuck. Yeah, obviously missing out on FP1 is going to affect you a little bit come into the weekend, especially when you're in a championship fight. Every bit of practice counts. But then again, this is one of Lando's better tracks. So it'll be interesting to see how he does this weekend. Colapinto's probably going to crash. Yeah, we'll see some qualifying runs at the end of the session, so maybe we will see some people pushing hard. But yeah, there was a lot of there was multiple crashes in F2 and F3 practice, right? I think in previous years there's also been crashes in F1 too. So yeah, I won't be surprised if there is a crash. But then again, we don't really get many crashes nowadays. Like, yeah. I mean, Lando also has the fastest car. I mean, yeah, but he's also up against the championship leader, you know. Very busy on track, considering only 5 minutes into the set. Yeah, almost everyone's out other than Liam, who's just come back in. The Red Bulls for some reason, and Bortoletto. But Bortoletto's also done a lap, so he's only just come in. Yeah, a lot of people came out. Good to see. Good to see. A lot of the time at practice, the team's just sitting there and waiting. I just don't get it. Did you hear Bottas tease that he might be joining Cadillac? I don't know if teased is the right word. I think he's more just playing into the idea. Like, I don't think that's a teaser or like a foreshadowing or anything like that. I think it's literally just Bottas has a funny personality, and he saw a Cadillac and he was like, "Let me film a funny video to kind of get people talking." And it worked. It fucking worked. Do you think Max will leave Red Bull for Mercedes? I hope not. But I don't think he will, at least this year. I think he'll wait till 2026, stay at the team he's comfortable with, and then see what the pecking order's like, and then make the move. I don't see the point in doing that now, because then you go to Mercedes, they could be worse than Red Bull, and then it's like, well, what's the fucking point? Julie Melby, thank you for the follow on the stream as well. I saw you follow on both TikTok and Twitch, so appreciate that. Can't imagine Max in a silver car. Yeah, it'd be weird. More teasing the media than teasing anything. Yeah, exactly. I think someone big will get knocked out of Q1 because they violated track limits. For example, Leclerc. Yeah. Not even just about track limits. Just purely the fact that this track is so short that there's not much of a spread. So one little mistake, like I'm not talking like lock up or anything like that. I'm talking about like a little mistake, like just slightly drifting wide or something like that, can really cost you at this track. Toto says in Sky Sports, interest in Max next year. I mean, the fact that he hasn't re-signed Russell, I think goes to show that he is keeping Max on his radar, which I think it's smart to do. And I think it benefits Russell as well because, well, it doesn't benefit Russell not having a seat, but it benefits Russell. It benefits Russell in the sense of like his stock keeps going up the more he doesn't get re-signed. So I just reading something real quick. Mondello Park is the most notable racetrack in Ireland from quick search. It's FIA grade 4. That's quite low, right? Fuck. There you go. There's Alex Dunn. Wow, big day for him. F2 prac to F1 prac to F2 quali to now in the garage. Hell yeah. That's a really cool corner. I mean, the cars will be going past slowly, but it's such a technical corner to get right. Feel bad for Russell knowing he's not the guaranteed Merc seat next year. Yeah, 100%. I almost feel like it would have made more sense for Toto to have re-signed Russell and then left Kimi Antonelli. Like, don't get me wrong, Kimi's doing a great job. I guess the argument then is there, why would you want to have Russell and Max on the same team? But that would low-key be so fucking good if they played into it. Frogman, thank you for the follow. Personally, I think George will end up at Aston Martin. I don't see Alonso leaving. If they dropped Stroll, that'd be really, really good. Really, really cool. Wait, I just noticed the grandstand in the background has like, it's painted like a Red Bull can. That's kind of cool. Maybe it's unintentional, but surely not. Everything's done for a reason. Yo, Lightning McQueen, thank you for the follow, man. Big fan. That's a long way from Ireland to get to a track on F1. There will probably be touchy at turn 4 with someone front left hitting someone's rear. What, in the race? Oh, this track always produces such great racing because of 3 DRS zones. Like, you can attack in the first one, then they come back, and then they come back again, and like the dummying. Honestly, it's the reason I love Bahrain, turn 1, turn 2, and it's the reason I love this track. It just produces such good racing for some reason. Yeah, it's beautiful. Austria is beautiful. I was there last year with the team. I can't believe it's been a fucking year, man. Got some nice photos up on the top of the hill when I did a track walk. Yeah, Austria's been very hit or miss. 2018 was a banger race. 2019 was an absolute banger. Max stalling off the start, dropping down the grid, then coming back through the field to win with a very controversial moment with Leclerc. Loved that. 2020, COVID, the 2 races there in COVID. One was absolutely crazy with 7 retirements. One was the one where Lando got his podium. 2021, nothing happened. 2022, nothing happened. 2023, nothing happened. But 2024, we had the big dramatic moment between Max and Lando. It's just a great track. You know what I mean? It's just a very solid track. I think it's lost its kind of specialty with the last 3 years being mid races, but I think that's more down to Max dominating than anything. But when there is a battle at the front, it is a battle. 22 is yeah, maybe I just can't remember 2022. But yeah. I don't even care. Stroll's a decent driver and the Aston isn't that good of a car. He's an underperformer. Yeah, I do think Stroll gets a bit more hate than he deserves, but I do think it's his time in the sport should have been up by now. No way they drop Kimi. They see him as the next Max. Yeah, true. It's more just like Russell is the better driver right now. So to then just drop Russell because you want Max. I don't know. I spoke about it before, but like, I think what you gain from Max isn't enough for the cons that come with Max and the money you're paying for Max. I think Russell's a very solid driver. And I think if you put Max and Russell in a championship winning Mercedes, they'd both win the championship. So it doesn't even matter who you put in. And they both win the constructors. Can we see a sudden downfall McLaren this year after Canada's incident? Do you mean car performance or like teamwork or what? Okay, first talking about the car. They brought upgrades this weekend. I don't know how they keep bringing upgrades, but yeah, I think, put it this way. If there was no reg change next year, I think this year would be way more exciting. But I think most teams, every team, I feel like this year was like, we're bringing our cars, we're going to do a couple upgrades, and then that's it. So kind of this pecking order is kind of what we're going to see for the rest of the year. Whereas if this was a 2024 season where there's another year after this, I think we'd see a lot more upgrades and changing in the grid like we saw last year. So it's almost a bit of a shame that we finally have a team fighting Red Bull, but at the front of the grid, but Red Bull and Mercedes and Ferrari aren't really able to respond to McLaren now because, yeah. In terms of McLaren specifically, their car performance, I mean, yeah, they weren't great in Canada. Was that maybe because of the whole flexi wing situation potentially? Maybe just a one-off week. I guess we'll find out this week in Austria. But yeah, obviously as an F1 fan, I really hope what happens in Canada continues now for the rest of the year, where we have genuinely a 3-way fight between Mercedes, McLaren, and Max. Because that's what we've wanted. That's what we wanted this season. And, you know, we're kind of at that point of the season where last year it really started to pick up. You know, we had this time last year, if you look back to last year, the start of the season was kind of boring. Lando won in Miami, but, you know, Red Bull was still the quicker car. He just was lucky to win. Then Leclerc won Monaco. That was kind of like an outlier for him in that season just because, like, Monaco's Monaco. Max still won Canada, but we had a really good race there. It wasn't until we kind of got to this race in Austria where we're like, oh shit, McLaren are quick. And then that led on to Silverstone. That led on to where Lewis won. And then that led on to this. So, yeah, I really hope we kind of get a similar to last year where it starts to pick up now and we get like 3 teams in the fight. That'd be good. Can Sky shut up about penalty points for once? Are they still talking about it? Bro, I swear I've not heard F1 TV talk about it once. If we really don't know... Oh, right now. Lewis complaining again. For people that don't know, GP, his engineer, Max's engineer, is not here this week, and he had a sudden emergency or private reason or something. So he's not there this weekend. So there's another engineer filling in for him. So if you hear a different voice on the radio, that is why. Oh yeah, sorry, continue on with the McLaren thing. So in terms of a teamwork perspective, I don't think it's going to change. I think Lando crashed and instantly admitted it was his fault. No drama, no nothing. Instantly copped on the chin. I think the only thing that crash last week affects is Lando's confidence in wheel-to-wheel racing. I think he's going to be more careful and think more about his battles with Piastri, which is just going to help Piastri be more of a dog to him. You know what I mean? Piastri now knows, like, no. Oh, Leclerc off the track, keeps it out of the wall. We good, we good, we good, we good. Oh, shit. Yeah, Piastri already knew that he could, you know, confidently beat Lando, I think, in terms of wheel-to-wheel racing, considering how he's raced other drivers. And now he really knows he can. He has that edge to be like, oh, well, Lando won't do that move, or it's going to be scared to do this. Goodbye. What am I missing, chat? These short but quick and tight tracks are always good, yeah. I think getting Max would kill Kimmy. Would Max be up for teaching and nurturing Kimmy? Yeah, I think Kimmy would be silly not to learn from the best. I think that's what I loved about Liam coming to Red Bull, is he came in with the mindset of, I want to learn from the best. Whereas Checo and Tsunoda came in with that mindset of like, I want to compete with Max. And it's just like, no. So I think Kimmy would be silly to be like, I'm going to beat Max. Like, no, bro, just learn from him and then be the best driver of all time. Kimmy would learn more from Max than George. I mean, yeah, that's just obvious, right? Like, Max is a better driver. Lewis! Woo-hoo-hoo! The weekly Lewis block. Do you think they're trolling at this point? Every single week, Ferrari, specifically Lewis, impede someone. I couldn't see Antonelli at all. What do you mean you couldn't see him? What do you mean? You're on the fucking racing line, going 1 mile per hour. What are you doing? I mean, at least he's apologizing, but like, why is it every single week, man? Are you Kiwi? I grew up in New Zealand for 10 years, so yeah, that's where that slight Kiwi accent comes from. He's the second fastest car this year. Right now, probably say Mercedes. Max, I'd say Red Bull's up there. Excuse me. I don't think Red Bull's the second fastest car, but it's the second fastest when Max drives it well. But yeah. Who's getting hyped for this week's race? What's up, Chase? No Max GP banter this weekend. No. It'd be funny though to hear a different different voice on the radio. Also, the crash effect had Lando more than Oscar. Oh, 100%. What was the scariest animal or insect that was in your house in Australia? I never saw a snake or scorpion or crocodile or anything in Australia. It was only ever spiders, and they're so rare as well. Yeah, just a big spider, really. But again, they're rare, thankfully. People think Australia is filled with these creepy crawlies, which it is if you go out into the wilderness and go look for them. But in your house, like, yeah. And there's more chance a kangaroo coming into your house than finding a fucking snake. Might be time to cash out on that pension. 2 of his 11 penalty points will expire. Oh, okay. Yeah. So 2 of Max's penalty points will expire after this Grand Prix, which will give him a little bit of breathing room in terms of avoiding that ban. But he then needs to go 9 races or 9 Grand Prix, 45 sessions without getting without getting 3 license points. So that's going to be very hard to do as well. But at least the threat of getting 1 will disappear. Patrick, name of the follower. Where in Oz you live? I lived in the Gold Coast, but I live in London now. I'm so getting hyped for this one because I will be taking photos. Well, at the track. You'll be at the track taking photos. That's fucking sick. I saw cobras and mambas and scorpions in my yard every summer. Wait. Cobras and wait. Oh, cobras. Sorry, when I read cobras, my brain processed coyote. Wait, really, Reezy? Has a kangaroo ever gone into your house? No, not in my house. But there was a park just down the road that you go to every night, and there's kangaroos there eating grass. That's why I believe the Max to Merc news, solely because Mercedes want Kimi to be the next Max, and Max being their training, helping him every race weekend will be ideal. Yeah, true. But would Max want to make that move, not knowing if Mercedes would be the best or not? It's a risk, leaving the team where you started. Why is Valsecchi touching the wing? What a menace. I keep on seeing videos of George, Max, and Kimi acting like divorced parents. Whoever wants a George versus Max championship battle in the future, raise your hand. Yeah, that'd be spicy, man. That'd be spicy. Have you seen a wombat? At a zoo, definitely. Out in the wild, I don't think so. I'm in Arizona, which is basically American Australia. There are scorpions everywhere in my city. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I remember... Oh, what's Max complain about? You got an ad on Sky Sports. That's the Sky Sports experience. You ever tried squaring up to one of the roos? Hell nah. That's instant death, I think. What do you use? I'm on F1 TV with a VPN. Do I prefer the F1 TV commentary? Yes, but was that the reason I moved? No. Is it expensive on Sky? And F1 TV is cheaper? Yes. Is that the reason I moved? No. The sole reason I moved was because they updated the Now TV app and I couldn't watch F1 in higher quality than like a blurry 720p on my computer. It was unbearable. Like, it literally like was unbearable to watch. That's the main reason I moved. Every time Max wins a race, I get nightmares that he will again start dominating like 2023, and no one will want that to happen. Yeah, I see where the trauma comes from, but at the in response to that, I mean, at the moment McLaren are dominating, or dominating, so it's just like, you know, I think if Max was to go on to win 3 races in a row, yeah, it might bring some back some flashbacks to 2023, but I think most fans would agree that would probably be good for the sport, having Max back in the championship fight. Patrick, user, thank you guys for the follows. What's the McDonald's order? What is my McDonald's order? I love a quarter pounder. Quarter pounder, chips. The Biscoff Frappe is the greatest drink McDonald's has ever made. And yeah, that's my order. McLaren not even dominating. Max is stopping them from dominating. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Max is stopping them from dominating. I think they're stopping themselves from dominating. The lack of consistency from both drivers, specifically Lando, is costing them. And them not maximizing themselves. Obviously, them both being number 1 drivers means that they don't maximize their races sometimes. I mean, they've got a lot of 1-2s, obviously, but yeah. Wicked Wings, yes or no? Okay. Oh, we need the KSC Crushers back, man. We need the KSC Crushers back. They brought Crushers back, but they're so shit now. Guys, final chance to get your channel points in on the Twitch, on Twitch for the predictions. Who will finish first to practice 1? Get your channel points in. Go, go, go. My McDonald's where I go downgraded. They gave me my meat that is the shape of a TV but slimmer. Wait, what? TV meat. Have I read that right? Heard they took them away because too much sugar. Right. Canada's doing a thing where they bring some stuff from other countries at the McDonald's, and I wish they did that around the world. It'd be cool. Wait, what do you mean, like, bring other country stuff? I mean, I feel like that's always what McDonald's have done. Like America will get the McSpicy first, and then Australia get it, or like they'll test, like Australia and New Zealand, like a big test markets for companies. So like McDonald's will get things first, and then if it's well, then they'll go do it over in America, stuff like that. Like, what was the one that they tested in Australia and then they took it to America afterwards? I can't remember what it was. They like tested in Australia for like years, and they got permanently added in the menu in America. What was it? I can't remember. Or like frozen drinks are so popular. Like 7-Eleven slushies and McDonald's $1 frozen Cokes and stuff are so popular in Australia, but I feel like in America they're not that popular. All right, Russell doing some quality runs now. 4/10 up on Norris. Let's see what Mercedes are looking like this weekend. I would love for them to have similar pace to last weekend. Be in that fight. Bring your cup day at 7-Eleven. Okay, lost a bit of time there in Sector 3, but still goes 2/10 up. What's up, Jay? How's it going, dude? Track's kind of cool right now, to be fair. Well, when I say cool, cooler than what it will be throughout this weekend. There's a lot of cloud cover right now at the track. Oh, Nando's is amazing, but it is overpriced. Like when you think that you could go to a normal restaurant, like a non-food chain restaurant, and pay the same, Nando's is pretty ridiculous. But Nando's as a food chain is amazing. Ready for a LN4 masterclass this weekend? I wouldn't be surprised if Lando locks in at a track like this. But at the same time, this is such a demanding track. You've got to stay within the lines. At the same time, it's kind of like one of those tracks that I can see Lando fucking up qualifying and qualifying like 4th or something. The Haas don't look good this weekend. This is Haas every weekend, though. Back of the grid in practice, nowhere in qualifying, and then they just somehow get points in the race. How's the track limits this year? Same as last year, the gravel added to the curbing. Sorry, teacher, but F1 is more important than school. How do you do that sound? All right, guys, fun fact. Did you know that the bull at the Red Bull Ring has a nutsack and dick? I've seen it in person. I can confirm it does have a nutsack and penis. Colapinto is going slow. Where is he right now? Oh, he's ahead of Gasly. Thoughts on Ocon? I think Ocon's one of those drivers where his personality just doesn't connect with me. I just don't really care for him. And as a driver, I think he's... I'm not going to say overrated because people don't really rate him. He's just like... He's one of those drivers that, like... I would prefer another driver in the sport who has more potential. But, he's not bad, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's not like a get out. But yeah. Piastri goes up to the top by 5/10. Jesus Christ. Please, George, respond with something. We did not need to know that. You did need to know that. Kim Antonelli finished school. He probably feels so good now. He makes more than his teachers. He's probably been making more than his teachers for a few years. I mean, I don't know how much you get paid in F2, but you obviously do get paid to be... Well, did you get paid? No, you wouldn't get paid in F2. No. He would have been getting some good sponsor money, put it that way, for a few years. But then again, it depends. What's your definition of paid? Profit? He's probably definitely not been profiting more than his teachers until making it to F1. Making more money than his teachers? He's probably been making more money than his teachers since... yeah, for maybe like 2 or 3 years, because the amount of money getting thrown at him after his amazing junior career, holy. Backed by Merck, backed by, what's the other company? There's a couple other companies. George has too much arrogance. I loved him when he was at Williams, but after he moved to Mercedes, his ego grew a lot. Yeah, it says what I mean. There's a lot of characters in F1. Max, George, even Lewis, Lando, where their personalities are very polarizing, meaning like I look at Max Verstappen and George Russell and I see one side of them, or like I interpret their personalities one way. So I interpret Max as a hard racer who doesn't care about anything other than racing, but is low-key kind of like funny and like actually cares about people, but he cares about people who he wants to care about. So he doesn't give a fuck about media. He doesn't give a fuck about other teams and other drivers. He just cares about his team. He cares about his family. He cares about the young drivers that he cares about. And he cares about racing. You know what I mean? Whereas other people look at Max as like, he doesn't give a fuck. He's mean. He's mean to everyone. He doesn't like anything. He's boring. And it's the same with George. Some people see George as he's got an ego and he's like, you know, posh boy and this, that, and the other. Whereas I look at George and I think he's got really funny dry humor. I think he's really switched on. I think he finds a great line between PR and being himself. And I think he's just naturally a really like switched on guy. And same with Lewis. Back in the day, specifically, like when he was dominating, Lewis was seen as like a pretentious kind of like, oh, like he's only good because he wins, like kind of cocky, like, oh, he's doing too much, he's cringe. Whereas I kind of see Lewis as a very down to earth, well, maybe not down to earth is the right word, but he's a very like grounded person. You know, he knows where he comes from, he knows his roots. Whereas some people see that as like ego. And then like Lando, some people love Lando. They love that he's like smiley. They love that he's like jokey and he's like, you know, funny and stuff like that. Whereas Lando's personality to me comes across as arrogant and comes across as, ego, hypocritical. So I think it's just like everyone's opinions on drivers are going to vary, you know? Like I do not care for Ocon in any way, but there's people out there who probably like Ocon and like his personality, you know what I mean? Liam's another one. People for some reason hate Liam. I love Liam. Sometimes it just depends on your own personality and how you see someone else's personality. And sometimes it does come down to like, we see different things. You might, you know, I hated Max when I first got into the sport. I didn't hate Max. Hate's a strong word. But like when I first got into the sport, I thought Max was a young driver who sucked, who pushed too hard and crashed into everyone and had an ego. Because that's what I was told by Drive to Survive. That's what I was told by the F1 media. And that's just the kind of content I consumed when I first got into the sport. But then when I actually learned about the sport and specifically got to see Max behind the scenes, it's a completely different story. That's why PR and comms management is so important in sports, specifically Formula One. Things can be misinterpreted in, very different ways. Nicholas, say the follow. I just realized while I was yapping, Lando's gone up to the top by 2/10 as well. Stroll P3. Wow, okay. Why won't they show a Ferrari hot lap? Is Ferrari even hot lapping? They're down in P6 right now. What happens in chat? Is Kimmy banned by iRacing voice chat? He is. Or at least from what I know. What is up with Stroll? Both practices? Yeah, Aston may be good this weekend. Oh my god, I keep coughing and then spitting everywhere, bro. Did you see the F1 movie? Yeah, I went and watched it 2 days ago. I really enjoyed it. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think there's a lot of sporting problems with it, but as a movie, I enjoy it. I see people always speaking about Max like he can't deal with adversity. When things don't go his way, he lashes out with honesty, anger, borderline violence. Is Vic your neighbor? No, she's not. I live with Luke and Hannah, who are two F1 creators. But Vic was just using Hannah's setup the other day because she was at an event in London. To us, I feel you have to be a little arrogant, though this depends on the person viewing them more as the person to be in F1. Oh, 100%. Everyone has to be arrogant. This is the thing. People, there's a difference between confidence and cockiness, and ego and confidence and stuff like that. And like the differences, and this is the one thing that Lando Norris fans don't understand. It's not all Lando Norris fans, it's the ones that don't understand the difference between criticism and hate. Is with Lando, you're a zero-time champ. You're a zero-time champion who's currently losing to your teammate, and you've got 4 more years experience. Your comments, you can't talk like Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. They are multiple-time champions. They are the best in the sport. And that's the difference between arrogance or cockiness and confidence. And but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, it just depends on the position you're in, right? Being cocky and dominant is one thing, and being cocky and average is a different thing. Yeah, exactly. I feel like Lando's ego grew a lot after his first win. I like Liam as a person, but as a driver, it's just shocking, you know? Yeah, fair. Liam hate is agenda-driven. Your hate is getting into your head. George is the top 3 driver on the grid in current form. I agree. I think my top 3 right now. Oh, I had a debate about this the other day. What are we basing this off? Current? Are we like pace? Equal cars right now. My order for the drivers right now. This includes pace, race IQ, you know, just defending, attacking, everything, right? Max P1, obviously. Leclerc P2. Russell P3, Piastri P4, Lando P5. Ooh, but I forgot Lonzo. Max P1. Leclerc P2, Russell P3. I might say Alonso P4 right now. There's even an argument I'd put Alonso P2, to be honest. And then I'd go Piastri Lando. And then who comes after that? Probably Albon. Then I mean current form, not signs, but overall form in the last year signs. And then I don't fucking know after that. Then it's like I need to get the fucking papers out. Where's Lewis? Bro stinks right now. I'm talking current form. Historically, very different story. Sup Ramiv from the shrimp. Please give us some more qualifying runs, please. I don't want to see McLaren 1-2 by 2/10. By 4/10, please. Vic is trying to steal your aircon. She keeps complaining about the heat in her room. My aircon doesn't even outweigh the fucking PCs in my room anymore, I'm not gonna lie. Well, at least during Canada weekend when the sun was beaming in. For example, Kyle Larson. Exactly. Imagine this. Kyle Larson. Imagine a driver. For people who don't know who Kyle Larson is, he's an amazing NASCAR driver, right? Imagine this. Imagine for years you bang on about how if you went toe to toe with Max in different racing series, you would beat Max. Specifically saying that Max isn't the best driver in the world, is what he said. And then Shane Van Gisbergen, a little Kiwi driver from Supercars in Australia, comes over to NASCAR, and his first ever NASCAR street circuit race beats you. And then the first time they go to Mexico, he beats you. How do you expect to beat Max Verstappen in other racing series when you can't even beat Shane Van Gisbergen in your own series? Oh, but Kyle Larson's good at NASCAR ovals. He's never been to that track before. Neither is fucking Shane Van Gisbergen. And his point is that he could adapt to different series. He can't even adapt to a fucking different track in his own series. So yeah, Kyle Larson, a prime example of less talk, more do. To be fair on him, in his new interviews when he's very minimalistic and not saying much, it's because Norris hate is so forced to the point where you can say something completely fine and it will still get twisted. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Nico won podium, that's all I'm saying. Ocon beat Alonso a lot of times in 21 and 22, so I feel like you either have to rate Ocon higher or Alonso lower. Yeah, fair, fair. Just finished working. What's your thoughts on the upcoming race? I'm looking forward to Austria. I always do. I was there last year. It's a great track. I'm just worried about the McLaren dominance, but at least, if we just get a Norris versus Piastri fight, that will feed families. Please, man, please. Carl and Lando would be good mates. Franz Herman over Max Verstappen, facts. His IndyCar crashed. Yeah, that was such a newbie mistake as well. Hulk is a good one, and had your base solely off of this year would be up there. Yeah, I agree. Is it bad for me to not know who that Shane guy is? Not really. Shane Van Gisbergen was the best driver in Australian supercars. So unless you follow other motorsports, like other motorsports, or you're from Australia and New Zealand, you're not going to know who Shane Van Gisbergen is. Like Kyle Larson's the best driver in NASCAR, and some people won't know who his name is, Alex Palou's the best driver in IndyCar right now. People won't know who that is. And it does annoy me a little bit. There's Formula One elitists who shit on new F1 fans. And then there's motorsport elitists who shit on not only new F1 fans, but F1 fans as a whole. And it's like, apparently you're not a F1 fan if you don't know fucking NASCAR and IndyCar and follow other motorsport series and WEC and all this shit. And it's like, I don't think just because you follow Formula One, you should be expected to follow other motorsport series as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm trying to think of an example. It's like, what's another example I could use here? It's like being a Man United fan. I always use Man United just because it's my team. It's like being a Man United fan and a Premier League fan and being called, oh, you're not a football fan because you don't follow fucking Chinese Premier League. Like, or like, no, that's, like Bundesliga. And it's just like, it's, you can follow one sport or one part of a sport without having to follow every single league and every single division. I think it's just ridiculous. So yeah, like, I don't think it's bad that you don't know who Shane Van Gisbergen is. It's just, you don't follow wider motorsports and you're not from Australia, New Zealand. It's completely fine. If Gabby gets points, I'll start believing that Brazil can win the World Cup. I don't understand why Kyle Larson downshifted into straight. Yeah, exactly. It's so newbie. Now Will Brown and Cam have gone over for NASCAR race in Chicago. When's that? Love new fans to F1. Everyone welcome. Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a lot of new fans coming in from F1 movie. I think finally, the Drive to Survive fan era is going to die. Oh, you're a Drive to Survive fan. But now we're going to get, you're just an F1 movie fan. Think about the amount of people. Tuning in to Austria this weekend. There is 100%. There is one person out there. More than one person for sure. There is 100% people out there going, where's Apex GP, bro? Where's Apex GP? Where's my team at? And they're going to tune in for 70 laps of Austria, and it's going to be the most boring race ever with no overtakes. And they're going to be like, where's the crashes, bro? Where's the crashes? Where's Sonny Hayes? I don't get it. Where's he at? Well, that's fine. If that's how they find the sport, cool. But it might take them a little while to adjust their brains to what the fuck is actually happening in the F1 world. People shouldn't tell others that they aren't a certain kind of fan because they don't follow something or understand it. People should just be grateful. Yeah, exactly. That's one thing as an American. I'm glad we don't really have a large amount of elitists. Like, people here will either tell you that they prefer college football or the NFL and not bash the other. But I remember getting into motorsport and man, it was bad. Yeah. I know what it is. It's just weird. I don't know. It's weird, right? Because, like, maybe I just surrounded myself with more casual sports fans. I don't know. I think like football, rugby, at least for me growing up in New Zealand, football, rugby, or like American football for Americans, or baseball or basketball, like these sports are very like social based. Like you sit around, you go to dinner with the family, you talk about, oh yeah, how's Man United doing this weekend, or how's fucking the Patriots doing, and like, oh fuck that, oh man, he sucks, and you know what I mean. But then when it comes to like F1, it feels it's so like opinion invalid. You don't watch the sport. No, and like the thing is though, it just depends on the person, because like I've sat around a family dinner table after Abu Dhabi 2021 in 2021 Christmas time, listening to two people try to tell me that it's rigged and this, that, and the other, and it's just like, holy fuck, what am I listening to? But it doesn't mean their opinion's invalid. It just means their outlook of the sport is different to mine. Someone who only watches the races is going to have a different opinion to someone who only watches every occasional race and doesn't know much about F1 versus me, who watches the sport every fucking session or every single week. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means their view is different on a situation that, yeah. I mean, some things they say are wrong, but how they feel about it, they're just going to feel different. The issue comes when people that only follow one league as racing series talk like theirs is superior. Yeah. Just keep watching. I watch Try to Survive to see how wrong they get stuff. Living in America seems chill when you're in those suburbs. I only started watching F1 like 2 weeks ago out of boredom, and I was instantly invested. Same happened with football. Let's go. Well, Sarah, how did you find my content then? Was it through YouTube? Was it through TikTok? Was it on Twitch? I'm always curious with new F1 fans how they find my content, or how they find my streams, because like I think I would consider my watch-alongs more like long-term fans, if that makes sense. Like people watch F1 for a while and then they're like, oh, I want to discuss F1 with someone, so then they find my content. But then again, I obviously am trying to do everything like with short form content, trying to find, get new fans to whatever. But yeah, through Chris, right? Okay, through YouTube, specifically my YouTube channel or Chris's, or short form content, if you remember. I only watch Try to Survive for the drama. It's good drama. I mean, it's just good. It's just good content at the end of the day. You found me on TikTok randomly. Let's go. Let's go. What's your thoughts on Dun P4? Dude, he smashed it. He absolutely smashed it. I'd love to see him do another rookie test. YouTube channel. Right, okay, so looks like we are not going to any more soft runs. Yeah. Well, actually, Lewis is on a soft run. A really good one, but... And he goes 5 seconds off elite lap right there. Wouldn't Ferrari just be better off with the 2024 Cup? Well, every team's improved, so no. It's funny when people say that. This is not me roasting you in particular, but like, it's funny when people are like, oh, just bring back the 2023 Red Bull. Do people not realize that the McLaren is like 1 second, 2 seconds quicker than the 2023 Red Bull? Like, if this car that McLaren have right now competed in the 2023 season, they would be dominating Red Bull by 2 seconds. And then Red Bull would be dominating the teams behind them by 2 seconds. You always pop on my TikTok when I shit, and I don't even follow you on TikTok. Hell yeah. Yeah, my TikTok's popped off at the start of the year. I slowed down on TikTok the last few weeks. Just one, because we, for some reason, had no fucking clips from Monaco, Imola, Spain, and Canada had like no clips. But also I was heavily focusing on Twitch with the release of F1 25. But yeah, clips will be back. Looks like we are not going... Wait, what is that? I watched you on YouTube for ages. Never knew you streamed on Twitch. Interesting. Yeah, I am, because I stopped doing the live reaction series this year because it just took too much to edit. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't regret the decision at all. I've been loving not having to worry about editing something on a Monday and Tuesday after a Grand Prix just to get a few thousand views. But I am like, wow, a lot of people found my watch-alongs through that series, so it's a shame that I stopped it. But yeah, it's allowed me to do more streams and stuff like that, so it's been good. Wasn't some Aston cars slower than previous year? Yeah, there's been some weird stats this year about like teams being slower here, there, or the other. You saw in a Canadian reaction video. It would have been the crisp one, right? It'd be a McLaren one too. Every race quality gaps 2 seconds. Yeah, exactly. You'd love that personally. 2023 Red Bull would be one of the slowest on the grid right now. Yeah, exactly. And people forget that. But again, I think that comes back to like, people just, you just got to learn more about the sport, and I'm sure if I went to a family dinner, someone would be like, Man, what's happened to Red Bull? Like, just get the 2023 car back, but they're just like factually wrong. But like the way for them understanding that or thinking that, like, you know, it makes sense. Like if you don't follow the sport like religiously, why you'd think that. Excuse me. Rather be a recarb driver than a second Red Bull seat driver. You got to do what makes you happy if that's what drains you. Yeah, exactly. I think I did it for too long, if I'm being honest. But yeah. As a McLaren fan, can we have the other teams go back to previous cars, please? No, we need McLaren to go back to previous cars right now. It just feels like every single year F1 has existed that I've been watching the sport, it's like, like in 2019, it was like, oh, if you just take Mercedes out of the picture, I think we would have had a decent fight between Ferrari and Red Bull, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a look. 2019 F1 championship. Yeah. Yeah, Max and Charles were separated by 10 points, 14 points. It feels like every year, all right, you take Mercedes out of the picture, great fight between Ferrari and Red Bull. 2020, take Mercedes out of the picture, great fight between, probably, actually, no, Red Bull probably would have dominated because Ferrari sucked. Anyways, 2021, cool. Leave them in because that was a great season. But 2022, you take Max out of the picture, would have been a good fight between Ferrari and Mercedes, I think, right? No. 2022 F1 season. Yeah, 20 points between Russell and Leclerc. Yeah, 2023, same thing. Take Max out of the picture, would have been a good fight between Ferrari and Mercedes. 2024, take Max out of the picture, would have been a great fight between... no, 2020... Yeah, 2024, take Max out of the picture, would have been a good fight between Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes. And this year, you take McLaren out of the picture, it would be a great fight between Red Bull and Mercedes. It's just like, rah! You don't get to take teams out of the picture. It is what it is. I mean, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, it's just crazy how every single F1 season since I've started watching, it's just like, other than 2021, like you just take the top team out and there would actually be a good fight. It's just always a fight for the podium. It's never a fight for the championship. The 2025 kick in Australia was 0.5 faster than 2023 Red Bull. That's crazy. When are we doing open lobbies? We're not gonna, we'll be doing open lobbies on Sunday, I think. Yeah. School is catching up to Kimmy, or is he just tired? I think this is typical Kimmy, right? Like 3/10 off Russell. We need 2021 regs back. That was insane racing. Was it though? Like the 2021 season, we had amazing drama, amazing fight between an underdog and the GOAT. A lot of great moments, but the on-track racing was so much worse than the on-track racing we get now. And I know on-track racing right now isn't great either, but it's so much better. 2021, you would watch the whole race for 2 laps of on-track racing. It was, oh, Lewis the DRS button, and he's past Max. Oh, Max the DRS button, and he's gone. And that's why Max drove the way he did in 2021. Well, like the on-track racing was poo compared to what we get now. Like arguably, the battle between Charles and Max in both Saudi Arabia and Bahrain was better than any battle we had in 2021. And I stand by that. Tell me a battle between Max and an on-track battle. I'm not talking a championship battle. Of course, the championship battle was fucking sick in 2021. But tell me where there was an on-track battle between Max and Lewis that was better than Charles and Max at Saudi and Bahrain in 2022. The only one that comes to mind was Bahrain, where it came down to a fucking FIA penalty decision. Silverstone, we would have had it if he didn't get fucking fucked off into the wall on half a lap, halfway through the lap. Imola, I mean, they didn't really race in Imola. Monza, I mean, they fucking crashed the second they saw each other. And it was just DRS train. Brazil, he just forced each other over. Max just forced Lewis off track. Like, there's no battle in 2021. There's no battles in 2021. It was just on-track moments, drama, championship, everything. So, I mean, 2021 was almost the perfect season. It just lacked what Formula 1 should be, which is on-track racing. As horrifically slow the new regs are going to be, at first I'm really excited to see how the new regs truly help with the dirty air. Well, we said that about 2022. Like, this is not me being pessimistic. This is me just being, like, realistic. 2022 was about to fix dirty air, and it did. But then they had to deal with porpoising, and then porpoising made the cars shit for a year, and then dirty air came back after a year, and it was just like, fuck, bro. When do you think Paul Aaron will get an FP1 session? I don't know. Hasn't he had one already? Late 21, Giovinazzi. Shut up. This is Giovinazzi fan, bro. Do you think that replacing Imola with Madrid was a good decision from the FIA? I don't think Madrid was replacing Imola. I think Madrid was getting added to the calendar because it had the money and blah, 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 blah. And Imola got replaced because it got removed because it didn't have money. Oh, first time we've heard a different engineer with Max ever. I think Imola just got removed because it didn't have the money. And then Barcelona just stayed on the calendar because they wanted to do their typical 24 races in a season. So, yeah. Testering Lamo, thank you for the follow. This is my first F1 race I watched, and you're the reason why I'm interested in F1. Really? Wait, so you got into F1 through me, or you found out about F1 and then found me? Either way, that is sick to hear, Llamas. Come join us on Twitch, Llamas. Come over to Twitch. Come join us. Save you having to watch on your phone on TikTok. Looking forward to the smaller cars on the next regs for the street circuits. Yeah. I'm so sad I couldn't watch FP1 because of school. You didn't miss much, to be honest. You didn't miss much at all. How often do you stream? I stream every single session for every single Grand Prix weekend, Josh Small. Talia, thank you for the follow as well. SGR, thank you so much for the 29-month resub, dude. Really do appreciate you. What the fuck's happening to my hair? I haven't even looked at myself on stream today. Thank you so much for the 29-month resub with Tier 1. Really do appreciate you supporting the stream, man, as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. SVG also called Max pre-race to get advice from Max. Yeah, that's really cool. Did you already cover Russell contract? Yeah, we've been speaking about it throughout the weekend. I think it's good for both parties at the moment to wait. Mercedes want to wait for Max, and Russell's stocks keep going up, so we have a really good contract once the time does come, assuming Max doesn't move. Wait, I'm out of the loop. Why isn't GP on the radio? He's had a family private thing come up, and he's not there this weekend. Spidey fan, thank you for follow. His gloves flapping about as well. I found about F1 on because of Lando and the Monaco, then found you on TikTok. Hell yeah. No, I didn't realize so many people, so many new viewers, and not because of the F1 movie as well. It just goes to show how good the season's been for marketing, and then, you know, we're going to have the F1 movie now as well. Who do you think will get pole? Got to be one of the McLarens at this rate. Oh, I just realized Max went up to P3. Okay, that's giving me hope. That's giving me hope. Is Dino driving for right? He did an FP1. Not anymore. With the new regs, we always get a team who runs away with it. Yeah, especially now with the engine regs. I think all the Merc teams are going to run away, or a team, a engine supplier, but I think it'll end up being Merc. No brake complaints from Max this week? Not yet, but it was also locking up a lot in those first session. In the first session. Every single session? What about Vegas and Mexico FP2? Wait, what do you mean? When did you start watching F1 Ponden? I started watching in 2019, so it's funny because some people would say 2019 is new to the sport, but this is my 7th season of Formula One. And it's not just a normal, I don't just watch F1 like a normal person. I've watched every session on stream, learning about the sport. Like, I would say I'm experienced. I don't know, I think you're pretty stupid to think I am a new fan just because of the way I got into the sport. Like, I've been through 3 different regs next year. Can Bono handle max like GP? Oh, yeah, good point. Bono is very, what's the word? Submissive, is that the right word? Joe Mama, thank you for the follow. If you could drive any F1 car ever, what would you drive? Ooh. I know you guys are going to say like, sell out, fanboy. I think I'd just say the 2023 Red Bull. To be honest, I think like, you got to remember, like, I'm a new F1, here I am calling myself fucking new. But like, I've watched 2 eras of Formula One. I've watched the Lewis Hamilton Mercedes era, and I've watched the Max Verstappen Red Bull era. And I'm a fan of Red Bull, and majority of my time watching Formula One, Max has dominated the sport. So for me, for you, it might be, Michael Schumacher 2000s, or it might be Lewis Hamilton 2010s. For me, my era is 2020 Max Verstappen Red Bull. And I think for me, it would be, I would love to drive the car that I got into the sport watching, and I've watched for the majority of the sport. But then again, I mean, I would love to drive the best F1 car that's ever existed, the 2020 Mercedes. And I'd love to drive like an old, well, when I say old, but like a 2000s car with the amazing engines and the amazing design. But I'll be honest, and this is a hot take, I wouldn't care to drive an F1 car before the 2000s. I just feel like it's a different era of Formula One, and those cars are just like, it'd be fucking sick. Don't get me wrong, it'd be fucking sick. I just don't be saying like I wouldn't want to, but like, I would just prefer to drive a 2000s and newer car than a 2000s and older car, or 1990s and older car. Like, it just, like, I get the history, and those cars are phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But like, for me, Formula One is about speed, and like a 90s car is just going to be slower than a 2000s car. It's going to be harder to drive, well, I say harder to drive. I don't know. It'd be different to drive. I don't know. Anyways, guys, that wraps up FP2. We're going to stay chatting for a little bit. But just to talk about FP2, we've got Colapinto in last. 5/10 off his teammate. That's not good. Hulkenberg P19. Behrman's 18. Sainz and Albon very low down. Okay. Ocon, then Gasly, then Hadjar, Lawson, Antonelli, Hamilton, Alonso, Bortoletto in the top 10. Great work from him. Tsunoda P7. That's a decent time. Only 4/10 off Max. Russell P6. Leclerc P5, Stroll P4, great lap from him. Verstappen, and then Piastri and Norris 3/10 up on the Max. To be fair, Piastri 1/10 off Norris right now. We compare the predictions. Well done, everyone who got the Lando Norris prediction correct. That makes me worried. That makes me worried about qualifying the race this weekend, that McLaren might just dominate. But we know how good the battling is at this track. So even if it, okay, put it this way. If a McLaren's going to be on pole, I want the teammate to be in P2. Because if the teammate's not in P2... because if the teammate's in P2, we will have a battle between the McLarens. Even after last week, we will have a battle. Because this track is so good for on-track racing. The slipstream is going to be good. But yeah, we're going to stay live on TikTok and Twitch for a bit. But YouTube, if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe down below. Come join us on Twitch. We're going to be staying live for a little bit to just finish chatting about the things we're talking about. So come join us. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the watch along, be sure to follow it down below. We do watch alongs like this for every single Grand Prix weekend, for every single session. So join me tomorrow for practice 3 and qualifying, as well as the F2 sprint race. But yeah, YouTube, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Otherwise, come join us on Twitch. Bye-bye.